You did think that, our aquifer is susceptible to drought.
I do.
Okay, and if asked, you could write it out as to why.
Well, I only have a couple pieces of data.
Okay,
That's why I use susceptible. But there is anecdotal data that in the past, water usage has been restricted because the wells weren't producing. In 1984, the wells did not produce enough water to meet the fire code, and a storage tank had to be added, even though they were estimating yield from those wells at numbers that I think are much higher than they really are. And the third point is that the catchment basin area is fairly small, and that's confirmed by the dilute water. So the water is not staying in the aquifer for a long time, which means that if we have a drought year or 2 years, you're dependent on recharge running through the system. And a drought year or 2 drought years could bring the water table way down, and you might not be able to produce as much water.
okay, and the second one was, you were talking about the low level of dissolved solids,
Yes.
and that indicates that the water recharge area is a short distance.
Right.
Okay.
So water is almost rainwater. It means it didn't travel very far at all. And that means that the catchment area is small, and that if you don't get rain, there's a good chance that the puddle will dry. Smaller puddles disappear faster than big puddles, and the water won't be there for you to have.
You see, I think those 2 points go to the reason why we should be concerned about our little,
Correct.
I mean, a couple of those, you know?
And then, well, the corollary too is that since you're dependent on recharge, if anything is spilled on the recharge area, it'll get to you quickly because it's a pass-through. The retention time in that aquifer is short. That's why you have low dissolved solids. That means that if something gets in there, it'll get to your well faster.
That brings up a question I have in terms of where they're proposing the bulk extraction at the gravel bed. They've done it. You see the gravel, you know it's there. Did you say that there's a layer of clay between that gravel and where the aquifer is?
Out in the valley, it's been mapped, yes, by
Okay.
the geologist. I know you go up the hill a little bit and you look to your left and there it is.
Yeah.
But I think that lens goes from there under the clay into your aquifer.
When I see the gravel there, I think in terms of whatever should be on that property. If you can see the gravel, if there is some kind of a spill, and the gravel being, so permeable that whatever spills is gonna go through in a heartbeat.
Oh, you're right, it'll go right through.
It's gonna go right to the aquifer.
Yeah. Yeah, and different contaminants travel at different velocities, but yes, it will get through.
It's not gonna take much time.
Yeah,